Let me take you back to Birmingham, England. Working class, gritty, and gray. It's the late 1940s, post-war Britain. A boy is born to a toolmaker and a factory worker. His name, John Michael Osbourne. But the world would come to know him by another name, Ozzy. Ozzy wasn't born a rock star. He was born into struggle. Dyslexia made school nearly impossible. He left at 15, bounced between factory jobs, and even served time for burglary. He once stole a TV, couldn't carry it far, so he dropped it in a bush and went back for the remote. Not the brightest crime, but that's Ozzy. He was already a legend in his own little way. But there was something about his voice. Raw, honest, unmistakable. And when he answered a newspaper ad by a guitarist named Tony Iommi, the fuse was lit. Alongside Geezer Butler and Bill Ward, they formed Black Sabbath. This wasn't just music, it was doom-laced, blues-soaked thunder from a darker place. The world had never heard anything like it. They released their debut album, Black Sabbath, on a Friday the 13th in 1970. It was eerie, almost supernatural. Critics hated it. Fans? Obsessed. It was the sound of a generation's discontent. The Vietnam War was on the TV every night. People were scared, angry. Ozzy's voice, haunting and melodic, was the sound of that unease. But fame didn't come with a manual. Ozzy was drinking hard. Drugs became his religion. Cocaine, quaaludes, acid, booze. His bloodstream was a pharmacy. Yet through it all, he performed like a man possessed. Until one day in 1979, his demons finally caught up. The band fired him. Ozzy Osbourne was officially done. But here's the twist. The part no one saw coming. Enter Sharon, the daughter of Black Sabbath's manager. She took Ozzy in when he was at rock bottom, living in a hotel room, getting drunk, high, barely existing. Sharon didn't just save him, she rebuilt him. She managed him, loved him, believed in him when no one else would. Together, they forged a second act that would become rock legend. In 1980, Ozzy released Blizzard of Oz. It wasn't just a comeback, it was an explosion. Crazy Train, Mr. Crowley, Suicide Solution, anthem after anthem. And the secret weapon? A young, virtuosic guitarist named Randy Rhoads. His neoclassical style paired with Ozzy's voice created magic. But then, tragedy. In 1982, on tour in Florida, Randy was killed in a freak plane crash. Just 25 years old. Ozzy was devastated, broken in a way few ever saw. He locked himself in a bus for days. He said it felt like losing a brother. That wound never healed. But Ozzy kept going. Somehow, always. Album after album, tour after tour. He bit the head off a bat during a show in Des Moines. He thought it was rubber. It wasn't. He got rabies shots for weeks after that. Only Ozzy could survive that and turn it into a career highlight. Then came the Osbournes, the MTV reality show that turned a heavy metal god into a lovable, bumbling dad. Millions watched Ozzy stumble through the house, curse at the TV, and shout, "Sharon!" every 10 minutes. For a whole new generation, Ozzy wasn't scary anymore. He was family. You didn't have to like metal to love him. But behind the laughter, there was pain. Years of addiction took their toll. He relapsed, fought back, relapsed again. There were seizures, injuries, rehab, Parkinson's. He almost died from pneumonia in 2019. Then a fall in 2020 left him barely able to walk. His voice wavered. His body rebelled. The Prince of Darkness was getting older, and it showed. Yet, he still didn't quit. In 2022, he released Patient Number 9, an album that cracked the charts, won Grammys, and reminded the world Ozzy Osbourne is still here. Even when he couldn't tour, couldn't stand on stage, he kept making music. That's what defines Ozzy, not the scandals, not the bat, not the reality show, but the sheer will to create. Ozzy once said, "I should have been dead 1,000 times, but I'm still here." And there must be a reason. And maybe that reason was to show the world what survival really looks like. But even legends don't live forever. On July 22nd, 2025, Ozzy Osbourne passed away, peacefully, surrounded by his family. He was 76. For a man who lived louder than life itself, he left us quietly, but his voice, it'll never go silent. His music will echo for generations. His story, a story of chaos, creativity, addiction, love, loss, redemption, matters. Because Ozzy showed us that being broken doesn't mean being worthless, that the wildest, weirdest souls among us can still leave the deepest marks. Ozzy isn't just the godfather of metal. He's proof that even the darkest lives can be filled with light. From a poor kid in Birmingham, to a rock legend loved across the world, to a man who should have died 100 times but kept coming back. Ozzy Osbourne didn't just live. He survived. And in doing so, he gave the world something immortal. Rest in peace, Ozzy, the Prince of Darkness, the heart of heavy metal, the soul we never saw coming.